Hey, I'm Lawrence and today we're going to talk about coming up with solutions. If you're enjoying this content, I'm going to ask you if you could like and subscribe. That will really help us to get noticed by the YouTube algorithm and allows us to grow and reach more people. You should now have understood the user's journey, chosen areas that you want to improve to help meet your goals, and you've used problem statements to group and frame your user's needs, assumptions, and pain points into challenges that you can solve. In this episode, we'll cover a technique that gives us lots of ideas for how to solve each of our problem statements. Just like in science class, hypotheses allow us to propose an idea by explaining what you currently see happening, why you think that happens, how you might change it, and the outcome that you expect to see. This helps us to tie together problems that you've identified with a solution in a way that allows us to measure if that solution has worked. It's good to have many hypotheses for each problem statement, and at this point in time it's good to be as creative as possible. You really want to explore how good your solution could be. At a later stage, we'll take the best bits of each idea and work out how we can put them together to achieve our goals. Like many of these exercises, you might want to do them alone or as a team. And it could be a good idea to sketch some of your ideas out to help you communicate and see how they fit together. There's techniques you can look up like Crazy Eights which help you sketch in a way that increases creativity. So we've teamed up with Mosaik Education, who provide programs to teachers that support refugees reach university. In Mosaik, we've chosen to give our courses more structure for students and to improve the journey for teachers. We formed two groups and prioritised problems for each one. Team 1, who are looking at the student's journey, are made up of specialists, teachers, and students. We set them a brief using the problem statements from the last episode, and we gave them a week to come up with hypotheses. They went away and researched how other people have solved similar problems, and they pitched their ideas back to us, and we were able to bring them together and sketch a storyboard of how their ideas might work together. Team 2 were a smaller team, and they simply wrote hypotheses for each problem statement and decided which they would prototype and which they wouldn't. Just like in Team 1, we sketched out a wireframe of what we're working towards. We were trying to bear in mind our constraints around existing processes and tech that we could integrate our ideas into, or whether it's better to build or buy a solution. As you can see, at this point our sketches are very messy, but they allow us to show how the ideas fit together and what we're working towards. The next step for us was to tidy up our sketches and present them back to our team for feedback. We used Figma for this because it's got a very low barrier to entry. It's easy to use. Now, at this point you need to break the work down into smaller parts so you can zoom in and design them in more detail. You can identify all the basic components that you need to deliver the solution, and you can assign them to team members to develop further. I say to focus on the bare minimum, what you need to solve the problem, so that you can test your ideas early and deliver quickly. Once you have a basic structure sorted, then you can start to think about building additional features. For example, we've sketched out a page that helps teachers work out what to teach based on students' needs. We'd love this to be a Netflix-style recommendations AI, but for now we think we could solve the problem by grouping content under clear headings or using filters. Once we've tested and built those, we can then think about improving them if we need to. So, I hope that's given you ideas for your projects, and remember that hypothesis-driven design makes it easier to test if your ideas work. Think about visualizing how your ideas fit together. Break things down into small chunks and start small. If you're enjoying this content, I'm going to ask you if you could like and subscribe. That will really help us to get noticed by the YouTube algorithm and allows us to grow and reach more people. Thanks.